The 1906 San Francisco earthquake, the fire that remade a city. At 5:12 a.m. on April 18, 1906, the most destructive earthquake in California's recorded history struck the San Andreas Fault. Measuring an estimated magnitude 7.9, the shaking lasted less than a minute. Yet the true catastrophe was not the tremor itself, but the resulting conflagration. The fire, fueled by ruptured gas lines and rendered uncontrollable by a catastrophic failure of the city's water system, raged for 3 days, destroying the majority of San Francisco and fundamentally reshaping its infrastructure, politics, and the global insurance industry. The dual disaster and the hidden death toll. The earthquake destroyed over 28,000 buildings across 4 square miles. However, estimates suggest 80 to 95% of the total destruction was caused by the subsequent fire, not the ground shaking. The initial official death toll was placed low, around 700, to protect property values and attract rebuilding investment. But modern historical research now estimates the total fatalities exceeded 3,000 people. Approximately 250,000 residents, more than half the city's population, were left instantly homeless. The failure of the water lifeline. The rapid spread of the fire was enabled by a complete systemic failure of the municipal water supply. The main water pipes, which were built across liquefaction zones and vulnerable fault crossings, fractured simultaneously during the quake. With all 3 primary supply pipelines failing, firefighters had no water to control the blaze. Desperate attempts to create firebreaks using dynamite often failed, or worse, ignited new fires in the chaos, accelerating the devastation across the city's densely built wooden structures, the birth of modern seismic and fire safety. The tragedy immediately spurred major infrastructural reform. Recognizing that fire, not just shaking, was the lethal threat, San Francisco began constructing the Auxiliary Water Supply System, AWSS, in 1913. This independent high-pressure pipeline network was dedicated exclusively to firefighting and engineered to avoid the liquefaction zones that crippled the old system. The disaster was also the primary motivation for implementing the first significant legislative efforts toward modern seismic building codes in California, though robust enforcement would take decades. The insurance industry upended. The 1906 event inflicted the single largest loss ever absorbed by the global insurance industry, wiping out the collective profit earned over the preceding 47 years. Although standard policies excluded earthquake, shaking damage, they covered damage from the resulting fire. The integrity of the industry was saved largely by underwriters like Lloyd's of London, whose representative famously instructed agents to pay all of our policyholders in full, irrespective of the terms of their policies. This act cemented Lloyd's reputation and laid the foundation for modern catastrophe risk modeling, a catalyst for urban renewal. In the long term, the disaster served as a dramatic catalyst for urban redevelopment. The widespread destruction eliminated pre-existing barriers to construction, leading to denser housing and significant architectural changes during the rebuilding phase. Furthermore, the event forced the creation of the State Earthquake Investigation Commission, which produced the foundational research document on the San Andreas Fault, permanently integrating scientific inquiry with land use and disaster preparedness. Conclusion. The 1906 San Francisco catastrophe stands as a powerful reminder that infrastructure, not just geology, determines the scale of a disaster. The lessons learned about redundancy, water supply, and building resilience continue to guide cities in seismic zones worldwide, transforming a moment of devastation into a century of preparedness. If you enjoyed this deep dive, follow and subscribe the channel for more videos like this.